for me as a man, I feel like, I mean, the nigga who is half of me, the nigga who created me, you right, the nigga who made me, don't seem to give a fuck about me, don't love me. Is how I looked at it, right? I walked around the world thinking, ain't no way.
Shit don't
You.
matter.
Nobody else, like, ain't no way. So I didn't value love. I didn't value people who cared about me. I felt like I used to be able to, I mean, I can cut people off now, but I cut people off now within reason, right? In my younger days, pre-therapy, I would cut a motherfucker off like, people tell you in college, high school, like, niggas, like, literally be in, like, this close to my face, breathing my, like, screaming my name. I wouldn't blink an eye, I wouldn't flinch. It was like they wasn't even there.
That mama mentality.
I didn't give a fuck. And it was all, like, and I was very angry.
Nigga flinch like a motherfucker.
Because I've been in therapy. Because I've been in therapy. Because I've been in therapy.
We got all that ironed out.
All that. Welcome back. Another episode of What We Talking About podcast, where we entertain, educate, and uplift the people. I'm your boy, Diddy Podman, here with family as always. To the left of me,
Jay still don't play.
What's happening, Mr. Riley? How y'all doing?
come back to me. Come right back here to me. Because we got a special guest tonight, y'all. We got the rest of our crew with us. We got one of the first men that were right next when we started this, Mr. Mike Thompson. Team Body Rights in the building.
Hey.
TBR, let's go,
Yeah.
baby! There you go. Welcome back, baby. Welcome back.
What's good? It's your man, Mike. Mr. Challenges Change, representing Team Body Right as always. And we're back with another amazing episode.
He left the lounge, y'all. He left the coach's lounge. He's back.
Shout out Coach's Lounge, man.
What's up, Isaiah?
Shout out Coach's Lounge.
He's back. He's
Y'all
back.
wildin' already.
Already.
Tape just start rolling.
Already.
So excited to have Michael back here.
Yeah.
Buddy,
What's
fill us
good?
in, man. How you been? What's new?
Man, everything's been great, man. Honestly, bro, just a lot of self-rebuilding, a lot of self-evaluation, putting things back in perspective, reprioritizing a lot of things I had going on. In the birth of that, we had the Recharge, and that's a monthly event that we're now doing at Team Body Right, and it's about community, fitness, and honestly just building a black fitness community here in Charlotte. It's going to be something powerful, man. The first event, we had about 40 members there. We had about 10 members, 40 total non and active members. We had 7 vendors. We had the kids out, man. It was amazing. We had a couple major sponsors. We had Bang Energy out there. We had Athletic Upgrade. They showed up. We had Funnel Vision Funnel Cakes. I mean, I can go down the list, man. We got a lot of other companies now knocking on the door, asking to be a part of this event. It was great, bro, honestly.
So what exactly is the Recharge? So what makes this different from regular Club Body Right?
So the difference with the Recharge is every month we start with a plan. We might not finish the month with that plan. The purpose of the Recharge is to give you fresh breath into your original goals for the month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you might start off the goal like, I'm gonna hit the gym 3 times a week, or I'm gonna start off with doing meal prep every week. By the time you get to the 20th, the 21st, 23rd, a lot of the time, 60% of us are over that. Yeah. The purpose of the Recharge is to breathe fresh breath back into the original goal so you can finish the month strong. In that same setting, you're able to network with lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs that are in your community that you would never actually have the opportunity to speak with, because now you're working out side by side. And it takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I'm such and such whatever, this is what I do. Oh, I was just looking for that. You know what I mean? And we were allowed to incorporate the children, like I said, just different vendors. We try to target a lot of the black vendors in the community that don't get a lot of exposure, because we have that wind behind us right now. And so it's just something that's I feel like it's really going to reshape the black fitness community for Charlotte.
That's dope, man. It looked fly. Obviously, I could
fire.
not be there, but I feel like Mike's being humble. I mean, he had from food vendors
It was crazy.
retail to a chiropractor. Like I said, I wasn't there. I'm just going for what I saw on Instagram.
He is
had
humble.
the-
I was there.
the
I was there.
lanterns.
Yeah. It was a really, really dope event.
Yeah.
And I think, Mike is my trainer, but Coach Foster was there, Marquise was there. I think they both did a phenomenal job in like integrating, their style of training into the exercises. We all got to experience that. So, you train with one of them, but never, experience the other two. You was able to have that experience. The vendors were there. Everybody was just like cool. It was like no matter who you train with, no matter
Hanging
if
out.
you wasn't a member or
Yeah.
had never been a team body right ever before. Like it was just like a really good networking connection event. Like met a lot of new people. Was able to just like be energized. And it's funny that Mike laid out the foundation for what that was supposed to be. But after Jay's summer tour, September was my first month back, and I kind of like I went hard, but
Yeah.
like still kind of feeling defeated because I'm like getting back, right? But shit, I went to the gym and took a picture with my shirt off after that, and I was like, shit, I'm charged
something?
up. It was almost like, you know what I'm saying? The name recharge
Yeah.
made sense
Makes
to me in
sense.
that
Yeah,
moment.
makes
So,
sense.
shit,
Yeah,
from there,
bro.
it's just been like, we up.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
It was a great
That's
event.
what's up.
Let's clap it up for Mike, man.
Hey, man,
Hell of an
glad to
event.
have you back, brother. Welcome back, brother.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
back, man. So,
Yes, sir.
happy about that, and we're gonna just dive right into it, man. Got a question for my guys.
Let's go.
Obviously, I am kidless, right? So I just been thinking about some random stuff, and I was just curious on how people are nowadays. How they treat their kids. I'm just curious on just the generational changes that's going on between the 80s and 90s to now. With the upbringing of our kids, are y'all using more so of what y'all learned from back in the day to now, and y'all think this is the best era we have just for people in general?
I feel like that's how you was raised, and I feel like it's also dependent a lot on the advice you were given while you were being raised. So like me, my slogan for everything is take what you need, get rid of the scraps. That could be for any type of advice. A lot of the times, a lot of the kids in my generation, we were raised by parents that were, because I said so parents. And a lot of the times, that wasn't the right way to handle the situation. But at the end of the day, if you take yourself out of that, or you just step back for a second, it's like you did the best you could with what you had. If you knew better, you would do better.
Yeah.
So it's like now you gave me the opportunity to be able to go further than you. I've furthered my education. I've looked at different things. I've seen different sides of the table. So it's like, okay, cool. I appreciate how you handled raising me. But now you also have to respect the fact that I've taken that information, gotten rid of the things that didn't serve me as a parent,
Chew the meat, spit
kept
the
what
bones.
you instilled in me as far as a staple, but I've also adopted new principles.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we get questions like, why are you explaining yourself to a child? Or why are you doing this or that and the third? But it's like, you got to understand, I'm teaching this person how to be a person. Like our parents didn't explain themselves, or their parents damn sure didn't explain themselves
No.
to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now it's like you're implanting a new form of raising children.
Yeah.
And a lot of times our parents don't really gravitate towards that.
I think our parents did a great job of instilling principles
Yeah.
in us. And I know for me as a parent, like, it's okay, how do I still give my kids the principle part, but also teach them at a young age how to use their voice? Because it starts with me. If I cancel out their voice now, then it'll be forever before they discover it. And so my thing is, and I literally just had this conversation with my daughter, my youngest daughter, the other day, because she's been hollering she wants to work, and now she's old enough to work, but she hasn't started looking for a job yet. And it's like, my thing to her was, well, baby, like, leading up to your birthday, it was I can't wait, and now you're here and like you haven't done anything. So do you want to work or not? And it was silence. And I'm like, well, baby, hold on. Let's take a step back. Like, we're just having a conversation. I'm not fussing at you. I'm not even mad. I ain't tripping. I'm going to take care of you either way. Like, if you work, cool. Like, you can just get the stuff that you want. If you don't work, then I'm going to get you the stuff that you want.
Right.
But either way, let's not shut down because you're being challenged now. Like, talk to me. Like, explain to me. Help me understand. So, so that's my biggest thing with my kids is giving them the principles, but really the main thing is teaching them how to use their voice now, because Growing up, it was because I said so. Well, I don't understand. I get because you said so, but I don't understand. Like, I'm gonna do it because you said so, but that don't mean I understand why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I don't want to get beat. You know what I mean? Like, that's legit. Like, that's how it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's okay. Well, I need you to learn how to use your reasoning skills. I need you to learn how to think, and I need you to learn how to talk at a young age. So when you get older, like, you know how to have an intelligent conversation. You're not so passive aggressive like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole lot of other things that go into that. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, growing up the way that at least I know I did, it's
Right.
like, you know, your voice did not matter. It doesn't count. You're not a bill payer. Like, none of
Right.
that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. You know, I think for me, being a parent, I think premarital counseling is probably what helped me most, because in premarital counseling they talk about your old brain versus your new brain. And your old brain is the brain that your parents taught you, like, or those are the things that you learned from how you were raised, right?
Yeah.
And your new brain is learning how to separate from that and be the man that you need to be to show up for your wife and for your family, right?
Right.
So I didn't realize until that point at 25, 26 years old, of how detrimental some of my childhood experiences were to the development of me as a man, right? So now as a parent, it's like I try to take heed to that, to say the choices that I make, I want to make sure that I'm not going to always do everything right? There's going to be some level of detriment that's going to exist, but I don't want to be detrimental to the degree that I feel like I was. And not to say that my parents weren't good parents. They
Yeah.
played the hand that they were dealt, being
Yep.
17-year-old parents, right? But for myself, it's like, for my children, you know, some may look at them and say they're very mature, they're very outspoken. They, you know, can hold a conversation with some of the best of them at 8 and 10, right? And it's because I try to not limit them or hold them back, or tell them that there's something, a flaw in their personality, right? Or a flaw in how they choose to express themselves. Now, I feel like me being a girl dad and raising two females, there's so much against them already. When you think about the media, when you think about the imagery of what beauty is and all of that, and the challenges that they'll face as being not just young girls, but young black girls, right? I try to equip them with a certain level of confidence that starts at our house. So, you know, I have older generation. My grandma, for example, may make comments, and I'll be like, "Hey, we don't say those kind of things to our children. We don't bring that kind of negativity into their mindset to even consider that or think about that." And it sucks that I had to have those kind of challenging conversations with the older generations of my family. But in order for me to raise them the way that I want to, I have to protect them, not just from the outside world, but even from family members and friends. But I also have to make sure that what everybody else is doing around them is in alignment with what I want for them. And if you're at any point become unaligned with those things,
Gotta go.
a conversation has to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. So going back to two things you gentlemen said. Number one, about you know, whatever was told, you do. Do you all think that there's a pro and cons to that? Because I feel like sometimes now with these younger kids, they talk back too much to people they don't need to speak that way too. So, you know, with my job, I see some of my, you know, associates will talk back so quickly to management or just to older people that is in the dealership, and it's just like, buddy, I know, you know, you're an adult or whatnot, but it's supposed to be that level of respect.
Respect,
If somebody's
yeah.
talking to you, you have to just say, yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. And I feel like sometimes now with this, you know, feel free, speak your mind, there needs to be just a level of conversation that comes with that. And then, for example, like you were saying, your daughter, if baby's okay if you work or don't work, you know, isn't like maybe you do have to work because to work you get these type of things. You know, I'm not saying these are wrong, but it's just like if we teach them it's A-okay, then where do they learn to get that drive to understand the world doesn't work like that? Like you have to figure out how to ways to go get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna attack the first point, the last point, and then I'll go back to the first.
Gotcha.
Point. So the one thing that I try to, especially
You don't have to defend.
No. I'm
just telling you.
No. So with Cassidy,
I know you.
So with Cassidy, her thing, and I it's not a big deal to me. I do want my kids to want to have a certain level of drive for themselves. when my older kids, it started to happen a little bit later. And I feel like that was because when they were younger, all I did was just work, just to make sure that they had the bare necessities. Like, hell, I barely had the bare necessities, you know what I'm saying? Like, being a broke parent is no fun, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, you got to just grind. And so now being in a little different position, it's, I want you to replicate what you see me doing because you see the rewards that come behind that, right? So it's okay. With that, I see you working. Like my son, my youngest son, he'll go in my room in my office, and I have like all of my shoes in my office, and he'll go in there and he'll be like, "Dad, like, why do you have all of these shoes?" And I'm like, "Because I work, and I like nice shoes." Like, and I also don't like wearing the same pair of shoes to where it wears out my shoes to where my feet hurt. I stand up all day. So yeah, I'm gonna have as many pairs of shoes as I want. Once you start working, you can have as many pairs of shoes as you want too. Don't expect me to buy them all for you. You know what I'm saying? I get you some here and there, but like, nah, like if you want this collection, this comes with work. You know what I mean?
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Just off of something that you said. So I'm the oldest of my father's. I'm my mother's only son, only child, period.
Yeah.
I'm my dad's oldest.
Yeah.
My sister is 8 years younger than me. My brother's 14 younger than me. So something I heard you say is interesting, and it kind of like hit me.
Yep.
Do you feel like there's a difference in this installation of like work ethic and things like that between your older children and the
Nah, because
younger
everybody's
ones?
spoiled.
Oh, everybody's spoiled.
Everybody's spoiled.
Okay.
Everybody's spoiled, and everybody knows that at the end of the day they can call dad.
I only ask that because you said being a broke dad is no fun.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I figure your
Yeah, nah,
older
like-
kids maybe experience some more.
Nah, because even like I would do whatever I could to make sure that they had what
Yeah.
they wanted.
Yeah.
If that meant I was eating potatoes for 2 weeks, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If that meant I was eating ramen for a month, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just try my hardest to make sure that they always have what they need. So everybody's spoiled. Everybody knows
Okay.
that they can just call dad at any point, and it's gonna be like, man, like, come on now, like, because my older kids, they're in their 20s. My oldest, he'll be 22, and then I got two 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a speech, but then behind the speech, it's like, all right, what you need? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right, sorry.
I forget. What was your first question, Diddy? I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, it's definitely a line. I mean, at the end of the day, like, because I said so, there's a purpose for that. It serves a purpose. And that purpose is so you're not outspoken. You're not disrespectful. But I feel like, just like with everything, it's a time and a place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do what your teacher says,
Oh, for sure.
or I'm going to bust your ass because I said so.
Yeah.
That's teaching you how to be a productive citizen in the world.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, no, you can't have that, or I called you in here to wash these dishes because you live here and you don't pay no
Yeah.
bills because I said so.
Yeah.
Let's be rational.
Yeah.
Let's explain the reason
Yes.
behind the teaching. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And a lot of the times I feel like that's the miss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just going back to what you were saying, Elliot, too, like, you can't quantify your teaching. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you want to work, you can get what you want. If you're not going to work, I'm going to get you what you want. No, pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one. Don't quantify that. Because now, depending on where she's at mentally, she's going to shut down because she can't really process what to do. So that could be why she's at a standstill. She wanted to work. Now you telling her, what you going to do? It's okay if you don't do nothing. Well, which one is it?
So I think with everything comes balance. And
Yeah,
certainly as a
absolutely.
parent. So I think I totally agree 100% with the line, right?
Yeah.
So I believe in gentle parenting. I'm all about communication, and because I feel like back to the passive aggressive points you made. I think with the older generations that we're used to experiencing, if motherfuckers say they're gonna beat your ass or go get a switch or whatever, you're gonna take the whooping, you're gonna take the punishment, you're gonna take whatever, and then you're gonna shut down.
Done.
Right? You're not gonna say nothing back. You're just gonna handle that shit, whatever. Long term,
Right.
that brings failure to be able to know how to communicate. Always shutting down.
Yep.
Think about relationships. You think about marriage. You think about all of those things and what that's going to create for that experience because all you know is to not communicate, to shut down, and do whatever a motherfucker tell you to do. That's not always best, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a line between giving somebody gentle parenting, but also like, all right, I'm being gentle. It's a meme going around right now with a white lady, and she rapping like, you playing with me. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you try it, and if it don't, you try gentle parenting once, you try it twice, and then you like, all right, little motherfucker, like let me, don't test my gangster because I will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Then they like, ooh.
What's
Okay,
wrong with
but,
that?
But that gets their attention.
It
You
does.
know that, okay, he was trying to go about it the right way. I fucked it up. Now, next time it happened, I got to revisit how I show up.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to that working thing, in my house we got like a little thing. Like, I worked since I was 14. Okay. I don't want my kids to work at 14. And then my mother had got sick, and like I had to quit football, and like you know what I'm trying to say, just to put money in her, like sneak money in her purse. You know what I'm saying? So my experience about working as a teenager isn't just I wanted to work. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like forced, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to feel like as a child you're forced to work. Mom like, oh no, they want to work. But then she didn't work.
Yeah.
So she's trying to offer them a different experience than what she got. Right?
How about this though? Sorry to cut you off. You don't think, obviously your mom was going through whatever. You don't think that early working taught you a different drive, made you see the world differently at 14 or what your life could be?
It
if you
did.
get your shit together.
It did, but what I'm doing is being creative in the thought of merging the two, right?
Right.
So when people come to my house, and I'll be like, Ava, my 8-year-old, my youngest, Ava, is dishes in there, and she goes and she starts to wash them. If the dishwasher full, she's hand washing them. If the dishwasher full, she unloading and loading, right? At 8 years old. I was cutting grass. I was ironing. I had my own house key at 5, at first grade. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, it's like you gotta find that line of that balance of like, okay, I'm not trying to overexpose y'all to some of the shit that I had to do, like and being home by myself and cooking dinner or whatever.
But you need to
elementary
know this
school.
is a
gotta be
possibility.
But you got to understand
That's a
that
sign of
life
life.
is not easy,
Yeah.
and some people don't have all of this,
Yeah.
right?
Facts.
So I want you to do, Ava, I want you to do the dishes. Chloe, I'll wash the clothes, but I need you to fold them.
Yeah.
Okay? Y'all have your own, each have your own bedroom. That's y'all space.
Yeah.
That's not my space.
Clean it up.
You need to clean that up. Y'all have your own bathroom.
Yeah.
Figure out as sisters who's responsible for what day, whatever, but it should be, that's y'all responsibility at 8 and 10. So I'm starting early to instill a work ethic in them
yes,
that
sir.
maybe McDonald's or Bojangles is not going to teach
It's not
them.
gonna give
But
them.
guess what? I'm going to give you a weekly allowance. As an 8 and 10-year-old, you don't have to worry about nothing. I got your shoes, I got your
Zero.
clothes, I got your
Yes, sir.
extracurricular, your dance, your
Yes, sir.
gymnastics,
Everything.
your swimming.
I got
You ain't got to worry
everything.
about nothing. So when they hit my mom or my auntie with, I got $475 in my piggy bank. So at any point I'm in Target or Walmart and I tell you no,
You got a choice to make. You got a choice to
really,
make.
if you really want it, you got $475 in your bank account,
Yup.
in your piggy bank. You really want it. So
We
that's
can work
what
this
they
out.
have to make the choice
Yeah.
of. So it got to the point now, my oldest daughter, she'll hit me with the, Dad, I got $150 worth of stuff in my Amazon cart. I'm like, okay. So she be kind of wait for my reaction to see if I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I got it or not. So if I hit her with the, okay, I got it, but don't ask me for allowance for the rest of the month.
Yep.
Oh, like we went to the Halloween costume the other day. Get her Halloween costume. My 10-year-old costume was $108.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But guess what? She went in her purse and was like, and I was like, oh no, baby, I got it. Just
It's
don't ask me
different.
for your allowance next week.
Exactly.
So the fact that I didn't even have to say go in your purse, and as soon as that lady said the
She
total,
was ready.
she was in her purse with her $108.
Say
Yeah.
less.
But to know that you're doing that without me having to say anything, that's why I'm like, don't worry about it, I got it.
Yeah.
Now, has she not went in her purse,
We would have had a conversation.
give me that $108.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But I'm teaching her, work for your money, and if you work for your money, you can get whatever you want in this world.
Yep.
She worked for it and showed me I'm willing to pay for what I want in this world. Baby girl, don't worry
You
about
done.
it, because my lesson is being
The
taught.
teaching, the teaching is
The
working.
seed has been planted
Yes.
and it's growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
So, from just growing up, what are a few key things that you all would take from what you all learned from your parents, and that you would add, make sure that y'all are putting to your kids right now, and things that you actually are definitely changed that you don't want your kids to see?
Yeah, I mean, at the very basic, I'll say if you don't work, you don't eat.
Okay.
That's period. What I will say I did not learn, but I learned in that same lesson is you have to make time for your family. There's plenty of times where it's like there's an event going on, or I had so much shit going on in high school, football, choir, lacrosse, all that shit, man. It was like, man, you can't be here because you always at work. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be that dad, but it's like I wanted to be the dad that could set myself up and set my family up so that I could always be there. Yeah. So it's like in the same room that I was like, damn, why is he never here? Because he's providing and creating and doing things for me. I also found almost like a, what's that shit in Fast and Furious, Nitro Boost or whatever? Yeah, I found a different energy pack to take that, multiply it so that I could be around all the time, but still work either the same, if not more.
Yeah. I think for me, the biggest thing that I've taken from my mom, I'll say, is the importance of education. My mother was 17 when she got pregnant with me, all A student, scholarship, but she chose to not go to school because she felt like the best decision would be is to stay home and to raise me, and then probably have help and whatever the case may be. But ever since I was like little, like pre-K, all of that, like she's just always been big on education. Like I'll never forget like learning how to write in cursive, and kids don't even write in cursive no more. But like she was like, you ain't going outside, and I literally had to write my name perfect. Like, and she would not let me go outside. And I just remember growing up, people be like, oh, you write like a girl. And I'm like, if you know what the fuck I had to go through to learn how to write this, you would know why. You know what I'm trying to say? But it was just like, so that's a small example of being handwrite. But I even remember like leading up to 8th grade when I got into that college prep school, like my school that I went to from 8th to 12th grade, if you look them up right now, to send your kid there is like $30,000 a year. No way we had $30,000 a year, but I decided to like fill out this paperwork to get me a scholarship, and my mother came home one day and she was like, what are you doing? I was like, Mom, filling out this application. One of my friends from, my school, they got into this great school and they told me this is all I have to do. I gotta go take a test. I need you to drop me off on this day to Whitney Young to take this test. And I think for her in that moment, it went off like, damn, like he really been listening to what I'm saying. Like he really values his education. And then from there, it was like the exposure I got. I went to a high school like clueless. Like the kids had Bentleys. The parents had Bentleys. The kids had Benzes and BMWs. And I pulled up and I just got my eyes just opened up to a new world. And I'm just like, what is it gonna take for me to get this, right? Now, mind you, when I drove home 30 minutes that nobody had to drive, it was prostitutes on the corners.
Damn right.
They were selling crack. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's LeBron
but I had to
story.
learn how to separate the two, right? And I saw potential in what the world could offer me that I didn't, that I would have never known had I not went to that school, right? So then it became like, okay, well, I need to go to a camp, Mom, because I thought I wanted to be a doctor, but I don't like science. So I'm about to go to this accounting camp. And I'll never forget going to ACAP at Ohio State. And from there, it's like I became an accounting student. Fast forward, 2013, I moved to Charlotte. 2014, I'm the director of the same camp that made me an accountant, right? So life came total full circle, but education has always been something that I valued. And like my mother would tell me all the time, like, that fucking designer shit, that shit that people be out here trying to get after, that shit could be gone.
Like your Gucci?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like my shit, but I don't hold value to this. Like, it's funny that my friends and people around me, they see it and they be like, I'm like, this shit really don't move me. Like, y'all more moved by it, and I got it on. Yeah. This shit is material, like, here today, gone tomorrow. You know what I'm trying to say? I even think about that like a house. I never forget my grandma was like, you just bought a house, you closed, and you about to go to Cancun the next day. Who the fuck does that? And I said, well, if Wells Fargo don't get their payment for 3 months, guess who house it is? Wells Fargo, they're going to come pick that bitch up. So I'm not attached to none of this shit. But guess what can't nobody take from me? They can't take that MBA behind my name. They can't take that bachelor's degree from me. And that's why I value that so much. So I want to instill in my kids, like, that piece of paper is so important. And not saying that it's for everybody, but, and I'm saying, I'm using my example from being a college graduate, but if my daughter says she want to go to hair school, whatever her passion is, whatever it is, get the certification or the education behind it that's going to help you to elevate in whatever industry you go in.
Go hard, whatever it is.
Just go hard in wherever you go in.
Yeah.
That's it, baby.
For me, my mom was and is still now huge on delayed gratification. And growing up, I would hear her say it, but it never really made sense to me until I became an adult. And actually having to like work and like sometimes work extra hard for exactly what it is that you want. And not always being able to just get what you want right now. You know, sometimes you got to grind a little harder to go and get what you want. And so delayed gratification, especially from my mom, that was a biggie. From both of my parents, though, is just a strong work ethic, man. Like, I watched my parents grind. Like, I watched my mom had her own dental practice for years. So she was the dentist, the bookkeeper, and then she still came home, helped me and my brother and my sister with our homework, still made sure it was a hot, fresh meal every day. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he was project manager for IBM. You know what I'm saying? So he would take me whenever it was a new project, especially during the summers. He would take me, I would work with my mom during the day, and then at night I would go with my dad to these different projects. So I'm not sure if y'all remember, but the Old Navy that was in the university, my dad set that up. The Sprint call center, he set that up. You know what I'm saying? He actually got the job at Sprint working for IBM because he did such a good job setting up over at Sprint that they were like, yo, whatever they'll pay you, we'll pay you double. Yeah. It's like, what? And then he got me on there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so just a strong work ethic. My mom, though, I got a lot from my dad, but my mom she was like the sole entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? So my entrepreneur spirit definitely comes from my mom. And then that delayed gratification, man. Like, sometimes you got to be able to tell yourself no, and just keep grinding, keep digging.
What's the thing that I think the flip side of his question was, what would you not take? I didn't answer that either. I'm gonna answer it next.
So my dad used to beat the hell out of us.
Okay.
Like, just real talk. Like we got beaten for like some of the smallest things. My dad had a board that was about this thick.
Y'all niggas was
about
crossing.
this long.
Y'all was crossing the whole time.
Right? And so it was about that wide.
Hey, right.
It had my name on one side, it had my brother's name on the other side.
He'll flip it depending on who asked
Yeah.
you.
Whoever he was beating.
Boy, you something special, boy.
And so like my dad, like, I love him, but my dad beat the hell out of us. You know what I'm saying? But that was because growing up, he got the hell beat out of him by Luke. Like, my granddad ain't played.
You said Luke?
Luke. That's a grandfather.
Yeah,
Lord, you didn't even call him grandfather.
No.
Luke.
Like, that's not. Like my granddad. Like, don't get it twisted.
Luke,
like I love
Luke?
Nah. Like Luke, like sparred with Joe Louis. Luke, like beat your ass, Luke. Yeah,
Shit.
like my granddad played no games. So growing up, like even now, like my aunts, my Uncle Matt, rest in peace, my Uncle Larry, like they ain't play that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, they ain't play at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was beat your ass now, find out later. Yeah. And my dad was the preacher out of the group, so I can only imagine what my cousins went through.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing, like, growing up, I never really, with my kids, I determined growing up early that I wasn't going to be the same disciplinarian that my dad was.
Yeah.
Like, you can beat, my brother, he needed beats.
Yeah.
I ain't need beats. You can talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can talk to me. Like, my dad could literally talk to me and, like, scare the piss out of me. You ain't gotta beat me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But because my brother got a beat, and guess who else got to get a beat?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was the biggest thing. Like, I remember with my oldest son, I think he was about 13, 14. That was the last time I put my hands on him. And I was like, son, I was mid-whooping, and I stopped because I saw how he was looking at me.
Yeah.
And I stopped, and I was like, son, I'm sorry. I apologize to him because my thing is I should never have to physically, basically assault you to get my point across to you. If I can't talk to you, if we can't sit down and we can't conversate and come up, especially at 14, if I can't sit down and talk to you and you understand what I'm saying and I understand what you're saying, then something's off.
So what do you think that has, if you don't mind me asking, what do you think that has led to down the line, like as you have gone through life, just that piece of your childhood What
I'm
effect
gonna
do
be
think-
honest with you,
yeah.
Jay. Like that's a part that I probably need to go back and talk to Angie about because I just
Okay.
keep that part locked up. Because I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it, bro. Like my dad's 6'4". Like back then he was like 225. Like my dad's a big dude.
Yeah.
Shit hurt.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a little guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I see the rage in your eyes.
still a
you know
little
what
guy.
I'm saying?
You definitely
Yeah.
got
I mean, but you can put your hands on me and find out how I look.
You definitely got to talk to Angie about
You know
it.
what I'm saying? But like I could see the anger and it's like you beating me like you don't love me. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the part.
Like, and so for me, that's what I saw in my son's eyes
when he looked at you.
when I was on
And that's
him.
why you stopped.
He was looking
Yes,
at
sir.
me how I was looking at my dad,
Yeah.
but my dad didn't have a switch
It didn't
Yeah.
click.
to
But
click.
and he was also used to that.
I was about to say that's all he knew. He was
Exactly.
conditioned.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was when I saw that in his eyes, I immediately stopped.
Oh, yes,
It's like,
sir.
bro, I can't do
Facts.
this to you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I can't do this. So,
for sure.
so my
Yeah.
son, nobody's gotten a whooping until Ellington got a whooping last year for lying to me and trying to play me straight to my face. And I didn't even beat him. I just picked him up and tossed him around
Yeah.
his room.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
It was one wall, boom.
Yeah.
Bed, boom.
That's all I did. I ain't do
Floor,
nothing.
boom. Like, I refuse to, like, I refuse.
No, that is.
I
that,
refuse. I refuse. You
Hey.
would get your ass tossed around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that is.
with nothing.
Yeah.
But I refuse to actually physically have to, like, do to you what was done to me.
Unless you swing on me.
Now you swing on me.
Yeah,
I
that's different.
I
That's
already
different.
I done told my kids, you swing on me, I'm breaking your hand and I'm
Yeah.
taking you to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because we done entered a whole nother realm of disrespect.
Right.
So if you're gonna disrespect me, you're gonna have a constant reminder when you look at that cast.
Yeah.
Let's not try dad like that ever again.
I think for me, the part that you mentioned about like not seeing love in your father's eyes
Yeah.
as he was beating your ass. I mean, not to put it that way, but
Well, yeah, that's,
I mean,
what,
that's
that's
what
what it is. That's what it is.
my bad. I could have been a little bit more sensitive.
His eye teared up earlier when he said it.
You saw
I
that,
know
right?
he did, but
He
know,
like
bring a
reached
little
his
light
back.
to it. Bring a little light
It was
to
like-
bring a little light
He
to
didn't
it.
know
Yeah.
me.
Real man, like
Like he ain't know me.
I don't think y'all know, man.
Shut
Daddy.
up. You ain't gotta say it like
Don't say it,
that.
because I ain't say it like that. Don't do that, Diddy.
That's what your face
You
look like.
talk to Angie
Yeah,
about it
that's-
next. When's your next appointment?
I need to schedule one.
Schedule
man.
it, and that'll
I
be
need
the
to
first thing you
schedule
talk
one.
about. Tell
You should be on a
agenda.
weekly
Yeah.
set schedule.
But that was a piece for me, I think, when I think about the development of me as a man, that piece I don't want to take into my child's life, on my children's life, is them ever having to question if I love them.
Yeah.
Right? So I overcompensate a lot. Like, I know I go above and beyond because I feel like me and my father are in a great place now, but that has not been
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
So for me as a man, I feel like, I mean, the nigga who is half of me, the nigga who created me, you right, the nigga who made me, don't seem to give a fuck about me, don't love me, is how I looked at it, right? I walked around the world thinking, ain't no way. You.
Shit don't matter.
Nobody else, like, ain't no way. So I didn't value love. I didn't value people who cared about me. I felt like I used to be able to, I mean, I can cut people off now, but I cut people off now within reason, right? In my younger days, pre-therapy, I would cut a motherfucker off. Like, people tell you in college, high school, like, niggas, like, literally be like, this close to my face, breathing like, screaming my name. I wouldn't blink an eye. I wouldn't flinch. It was like they wasn't even there.
That mama mentality.
I didn't give a fuck. And it was all, like, and I was very angry.
Nigga flinch like a motherfucker.
Because I've been in therapy. Because I've been in
Nigga lie like
therapy.
shit.
Because I've been in therapy.
We got all that ironed
Yeah.
out.
All that,
You know
all
what I
that.
mean?
But I was very angry, and I just felt like I would cut people with my words. I was mean. I was just a different Jay. Like, and that's why now sometimes people be around me, or people who experience that version of me, and then this new version, they like what?
Yeah.
Because I'm just not there no more. But that was all rooted in the fact that I didn't feel like my own father loved me, so I just didn't put that expectation on nobody who was
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
So now, that's one thing that I don't want to bring to my children's life. I want them to, I constantly tell them I love them. My girls that come up to me randomly just like, hey, daddy, can I get a hug? And like my friends around, they be like, did they just come to you just for a hug?
Yo,
Or,
my
you know
daughter
what I'm
does the
saying?
same thing. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
She's like, Daddy, I just want to hug you. I'm like, all right. Are you
Yeah.
okay? Is
Yeah.
anything wrong? She's
Yeah.
like, nope, I just love you.
Yeah.
And then run off. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
But for me, that's reassurance too,
Duh,
right?
I would never do that when I was
that's
her
a level
age.
of reassurance to be like, they feel the love.
Like you're
and
doing
they
it
wanna
right.
Experience it,
Yeah.
right? Whereas for so long, even into my adulthood, I had to question his love and anybody else's. So that's a
wild.
huge thing for me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm supposed to go, right? I forgot.
I mean, I don't know if you can really say. You got something?
I mean, not the kids part, but when I do have kids, right?
Yeah,
Facts.
for sure.
I think one thing I will add is exposure. My mom was very big on that. Traveled every year, started from our grandmother, so she was a history teacher for like 40 years, and she made sure that every year they went to Disney World. That was her
Nice.
history class I always went to.
Yeah.
They had to sell fucking fruit to go to fucking Disney World. So my
Nice.
mom instilled that in us where we just went every fucking where.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for traveling, our AU team had fucking etiquette classes.
Dope.
I was in fucking jazz camp,
Yep.
math and science camp,
Yup.
nigga, and then maybe football, basketball camp.
Yup.
My son was laid out.
Yes, sir.
And it was corny at the time, but like,
You see why?
I see
Yeah,
why now.
for
Like,
sure.
go in any room, I can make a friend with anybody. 'Cause I done
That's
been in every
it.
type of fucking situation.
It don't matter
I
who
still
in
like-
there.
It don't matter. You make friends, you can do whatever. And the second thing, I did grow up with a single mother, but any man that she kept around for a long period of time, they were men.
Yep.
Mr. Tabern, look a man in his fucking eye, you shake the hand strong.
Damn right.
Every freaking time.
Yeah.
To sleep in bed with my sister, Eric Noble. Get out your sister's bed. You sleep in your own bed. You a big boy. You don't
Yup.
do that shit. Like,
Yup.
Richmond just, you figure out shit with your hands. And my pops, he want the best, man, but if I want something, you gotta go work for it.
Yeah.
You're gonna cut this grass, you're gonna do this paper route.
Yup.
And then, yeah, maybe I'll think about doing something for you, man. So she always did a good job of like, if anybody be around my son, he gotta be a good example.
He got to benefit
Yeah,
from that.
benefit
Yeah.
from that. And I
For
think the
sure.
only thing I would take away, at the same time, it was a lot of I spoiled as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to watch clothes. I went to college. I didn't watch no clothes. I was single parent, but like she would leave me some money, get some food, or she would
Yeah.
cook before I leave the house.
Yeah.
It was never
Facts.
figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
To what I wore, to how I spoke to people, it was very much like hands-on, which is good, but like the independency, like
Yeah.
when I got kicked out of school, it was like, okay, now you a man, you figure it
You
out.
done did it. Yeah.
Like, well, fuck.
Facts.
I done missed a lot of lessons because you were always a fucking doing it for me.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh yeah.
that's the only thing I would maybe change.
Yeah.
But besides that, man, I mean, it was good. I mean, I think she spoke to a lot of things I like to add to the world now. So
Yeah.
shout out to Big Nessa. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is spoiledness. So it's that best of both worlds because I think I told us before, man, that Jack and Jill shit.
See, I
Kids whack.
like I think once I know for me, like once I became a parent, I wanted to make sure that my kids always had what I didn't have. So, like, and I think I might have told y'all the story about the shoes with my mom, right?
Yeah.
So like my kids, like, they always had the nicest shoes. Will always have the nicest shoes. You know what I'm saying? If I'm paying for them, it's gonna be something fly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I remember walking around in the Jeepers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say I think there's a certain level of spoiledness that our kids are gonna always have because of what we went through. You know what I'm saying? As kids.
To a degree, because I appreciate your honesty and vulnerability and transparency in saying that you were a little bit too spoiled. Because I feel like, I mean, I just give an example. I got an uncle that's 7 years older than me, and to this day, like, when you think about how he was raised versus like my mom and her sister, like, my auntie worked. She had to drive to take the train to work an hour away to go to her, her little teenage job. My mother worked in a suburban nursing home, had to catch 3 or 4 buses to get there. My uncle literally worked, I'm counting, 4 blocks from the house. She dropped him off and picked him up every day. And when you look at their livelihoods, right, their lifestyles, right, it's a drastic difference in the level of work ethic or whatever the case may be, or however you want to put it or position it. But I feel like he blames my grandmother while the sisters are looking like, you had it way better than
Way
us.
better, yeah.
Right? You had it easy.
It's always like
And
that.
I don't think if we was to sit down and have this same type of conversation, he would ever say what you just said. So I commend you for
yeah.
saying like, damn, like if mama would have like let me be,
Oh,
a,
for
be a
sure.
little bit more of a man in some of those instances, maybe things would have panned out differently or whatever the case may be. But I feel like a lot of us don't do that who have
Oh,
that situation.
yeah.
I had 2 godbrothers, bro. They were very well off, but my godmom liked the neighborhood. So they
Yeah.
lived still like in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But like, so I would go over there and they would try to show me shit. And my sister, no. Davis don't need to do this, da. But I would text her now when I go on like, dog, like I wish like that slap box me that shit a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or this, that, the third.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like.
Bro,
any
you
of
gotta
that
have
shit,
that-
bro, but,
you
like,
gotta have that
that
shit.
man shit. They were just so like, he's the prince, the only boy. Like that's the youngest one.
Right.
But my cousin be like, no, fuck that. He's a man. And
Yeah.
my aunt raised her two boys like they are gonna be black men in this
Yeah.
fucking world.
Yeah.
They are niggas. Like they gotta learn X, Y, and Z. Got more money than a little bit, but like they gotta know what time it is
Yeah.
in this fucking world.
Yeah.
So it's little things you learn around the way. So I do commend my mom and dad cutting me off when I fucked up, cause like fuck it, you had it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucked
Yeah,
it
yeah.
all up. I don't know you no more.
Now it's
Yeah.
on you.
That's
figure
cool.
it out.
Yeah.
I would, like I said, man. Without that, I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing right now.
See, my grandma, she kept it going. So just
Yeah.
even recently, my grandmother literally moved out of her house that she owned, like it was paid for,
Yeah.
gave it to him and his family, and went to go move in an apartment.
Yeah.
Like that's how
Why-
real it
I
is.
got a buddy
why
like
is-
that.
We gonna talk about that.
I got a buddy.
I feel you,
Why
though.
is that a fucking thing?
Dude, this is my buddy's grandma. She lives out in fucking D.C. and that's like the come up house.
Bro.
Any sibling, any aunt, any nephew, grandkid fucked up, you go to grandma's house. You
That's-
can stay in the basement, get
Yup.
your shit together.
Get your
That's
shit
how my
together.
great grandma was. Literally, my family down here who live in Charlotte,
Yeah.
we called my great grandma house before she passed away the Mission, the city
Yeah.
fucking Mission.
Yeah.
Because if you was on crack, if
Whatever.
you was an alcoholic, if you got kicked out, you got a divorce, you could
Yeah.
go stay with her, and she would be. Now she gonna hold her purse like this in her chair,
But
'cause
she
don't
gonna
trust
let you,
motherfuckers,
she gonna let you move
but she gonna
around.
let y'all stay there.
Yup.
And that's
That's crazy.
wild.
That's
That
crazy.
is so crazy.
But fuck all this deep shit, man.
I was gonna ask you when we gonna start entertaining.
Dude, like, so speaking about different generations,
That was a
right?
good combo though.
It was.
That was an amazing
That was
conversation.
an amazing
I
conversation.
feel like we should have had Prime right here
Oh, Dion?
with the fingers.
Oh, man, I would love to get Prime on here one day.
That
That'd
would
be
be
amazing.
That'd be amazing. I
Hey,
mean, we
shout
could
out-
just go
hey,
down
Prime,
there.
Pull up on us, man. Actually, Prime, you actually gave me a shout out 2 years ago for a story that was done on WBTV. You shouted me out on Twitter when you saw that I was going into the schools giving free haircuts. So pull up on us, man. What we talking about?
Maybe you
Come
can
holler at
cut
us.
the Jackson State's football team.
The whole
You
team.
should DM him.
That's a
The whole
great
team
idea.
and send them the story.
That's
Jackson,
a
Mississippi.
great idea.
Yeah,
Jackson,
and I'll
Mississippi.
train
Hey,
them.
I want to go to Jackson.
And I'll train them.
I want to go to Jackson.
We pull up. Dre gonna take their ass shopping. Jay gonna take them shopping. You cut their ass up. I'm gonna tear their ass up in the gym.
I'm gonna be
And
around.
then he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
do what I
he's gonna
do.
be a real nigga on the yard. You feel me?
I'm gonna teach them boys how to net, how to work the yard. So one thing I would say that I hate about our generation, these hoes can't cook no more.
I ain't gonna say that.
That's some good
The
cookies.
hoes you fuck with don't cook.
Yeah, the ones
Yo,
you-
mom make Alfredo with ragu.
I literally
They don't
just
even
had
use
this
that
conversation.
heavy
What
cream.
do you
They don't
mean?
even- You ain't even got the heavy cream hoe yet.
What you
You gotta
mean?
upgrade. You gotta upgrade.
Boy,
You
it's
gotta
too
upgrade.
late.
Listen, I'm
He said the Alfredo with the ragu.
With the ragu.
Who
Ragu
even buys that shit?
or tacos. So it's Alfredo.
Chicken tacos and bro,
Alfredo
Alfredo chicken tacos is not
tacos.
cooking.
So
you need a
salmon.
shorty that can
what's
make some
up
gravy
there?
from scratch.
When you meet them though, or take them on the first date.
Where
you
y'all
don't
go?
talk about that. You don't talk about.
They all say they can cook. until
What
they actually cook
what
it.
Drake say? She used to soda and nuggets.
You don't-
She really just out here thugging.
When you say, "Do you cook?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, what's your favorite dish you cook? They say Alfredo.
Boom.
Do you ask? Well, ragu.
I would say
or
ragu.
heavy cream.
They
I'm
be
like,
"Oh, no,
from
no,
scratch?
no." I get over that, smell it, I see the bottom of the corner. I don't eat, my stomach hurt. All of the
This
above.
boy say I don't eat, my stomach
My
hurt.
stomach hurt.
Yeah, nah, man. I
They probably
literally.
ain't cooking like mama no more, man.
Nah, that's not true.
That's not true.
That's
not
not true.
true?
That's not true. That's not true. I know. Yeah.
You got some
What?
that holding it
You
down
know what?
for you?
Yeah. Can burn. Can burn.
No, man.
Can burn. I'm
It's
talking
the same
getting
for me.
I'll
kids.
put it like this: my grandma. Since we moved down here, my grandma don't cook for Thanksgiving no more.
A word?
Because everybody prefer what can come out of my oven at my house versus what can come
But Jay,
out of
you cook though.
I'm not talking about me.
You talking about? Okay, cool,
General, yeah.
cool. All right.
What's up,
I
Mike?
can't cook.
I know you
But I ain't
can.
talking about me.
Okay. All right.
Wife can hold it down?
For sure. Now, she's spoiled though.
Yeah.
She's spoiled. Now that's
If we gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation.
Let's have
Hey, she's spoiled.
Okay.
So if I'm at, if I ain't in New York or wherever I'm at for what, I'm gonna do it. But just because I manage my day better.
Yeah.
I manage my day better. So I'm the type of person. Since COVID, like I used to be able to do frozen meat. Since COVID, I don't really fuck with
I'm
frozen
not
meat
buying no
anymore.
frozen meat,
And
bro.
I think that the reason is that was like my excuse to get out the house, right?
Absolutely.
During COVID, so I go to the grocery store, I can go to Lowe's for the home renovation, I can go to the grocery store. Those two places I could go. So like now I'm like, damn, that shit hit different. Like having daily fresh meat hits different. But so I'll probably go to the grocery store, say on a Sunday,
Yeah.
cook Sunday dinner, but I have meat for probably getting us up to Thursday.
Oh, absolutely.
And see, I don't have no problem with cooking dinner at, I go to the gym in the morning, that I make my moves. So if I get back home 10, 11, I don't mind starting to prep dinner, right?
What time you eat dinner?
It depends. Typically, it depends on the day of the week. My girls I got a competition dancer and a gymnast. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, they in activity. So I like it where I can give them the option, like, y'all want to eat now before we leave, or you want to eat when we come back, right?
Both. I was that kid. Both.
But even
Right.
even still, even with that, like just having it prepped, right?
That changes everything.
If I'm grilling steaks, I'm not gonna put the steaks on the grill
No,
during the day,
sir.
but I'll have them seasoned and ready, so on and off, right? My salmon, I can just broil that in the oven, you know what I'm trying to say? But if it's something that's gonna take a little bit more time, or a casserole or something they can just scoop out and warm up.
Casserole. Boy,
That's
ain't
gonna
nobody asked
be-
me about a casserole in years.
Oh yeah, we
I
got
don't know
What?
if casseroles are still a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Bro, just made that for meal prep last
Yeah.
week.
That don't
Yeah.
get offered
Wow.
Yeah.
to Diddy.
Diddy, you gotta reevaluate.
You got to reevaluate.
Hey,
They
man.
had casserole
Reset
the
the
other
deck,
day. It was
baby.
delicious.
Yeah. You looking in the wrong spots.
Well, I see I'm so outside.
He
Or the
might
wrong-
not be- he
or
might
the
not be
wrong
looking.
alley, or the wrong alley.
He just might just running into shit.
Yeah.
Boy. And I also feel like nowadays, we don't spend enough family time no more, bro. I feel like iPads and
I definitely
iPhones
agree
taking
with that.
over,
That's
man.
That's true.
You see it. I see it more. Like I never really understood the impact of like cell phones on kids, really until like this year. So there's a kid that comes to the barbershop. Before he got a cell phone for his birthday. Before his birthday, he would come in, hop up in the chair, and he's talking to everybody nonstop.
How old is he?
I think he's like 11,
Okay.
like 11, 12, something
Okay.
like that. Now my man come in. Well, for a couple weeks he would come in and he would have his cell phone and he would get in, he would get in the chair and not a peep. And it's like this. It's this.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man, hold your head up. You know what I'm saying? So now it's, you know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy, man. I think devices have become a great babysitter, but also a great handicapper as well. You know what I mean? You can learn a lot from a device, but also it can have you as
learn some bad
adults,
shit
we
on a
know
device,
that.
too.
Like as adults, you can learn anything. You know what I'm saying?
basically
Like,
anything.
and that's
I
the
mean,
dangerous
shit.
part.
Another thing about that shit is you don't even have to be searching for bad shit. Like,
No, and it's just
like what I learned with my kids, my daughter's 6, my son is 4, like I didn't even realize like they got like fucking hidden messages inside like regular videos on fucking YouTube.
Or how I had to get hip is on the YouTube Kids, because on regular YouTube she was watching something from Miss Piggy, and when you went through the history, Miss Piggy was regular. She was shopping.
Yup.
Then it got
Uh-huh.
more and
And
more.
that's-
It ain't nothing they
that's
were
what I'm talking
searching
about.
for. It
At
was
all.
that next
The
recommended
next
video.
that's it.
And by the end of it, I was like,
Never again.
Never again.
Like they had like
YouTube
this
Kids only.
there was like
That's
this fucking
forever.
like blue creature. So like my kids would start off watching like the regular whoever's playing whatever toy. From there it turns in recommended buying toys. And then it turns into recommended buying toys. And then it turns into like another like some fucking blue creature is like, hey, we're singing. It's like, hey, we live together, we play together, let's die together. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
yeah.
And that's a real thing, bro.
Wow.
Like, and it's just, again, like he said, the next recommended video
Yeah.
because of keywords, drop
Yeah.
ads, and things of that nature, bro. It's like you really got to be on
well,
top
also
of
like
that
the
shit.
tags they put in.
And that's what I'm
all
saying.
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
keyword. Yeah, hell
Wow.
yeah.
Look, my kids ain't getting no phone till like about 10.
I said the same shit.
Well,
I said the same thing. I didn't
my
get a phone
daughter-
until I was 18.
I didn't get a phone until I was 16. That's because I got a whip. So my mother felt like,
You had
with
to.
her working as much, like, just let me. My mother was very like, I don't care where you at, what you doing, just tell me that you're safe. Hey, I made it to my destination. I'm good, right? But to your point though, my oldest daughter is 10. My youngest is 8. I got them each a Apple iPhone, but only for Wi-Fi connection. Like it's not a cellular device. And I told my 10-year-old, and somebody challenged me on this the other day, saying I was unfair about giving my 8-year-old one too. But when you have girls, that's
You gotta know
close
who's
to the
more
same age,
responsible.
it's like
It's
you
different.
gotta-
Because
some shit you
they
gotta
are very
work,
different.
But at 10, I was like, if you know, you have a cell phone, most contracts for 2 years, right? Well, mine is every year, but for most, it's 2 years. I said, you're 10. I told you I'll get you a phone at 12. If you keep up with this phone from you 10 to you 12, you can for sure get one on your 12th birthday. And I'm not going to be worried or concerned about nothing because I feel like you're going to be responsible enough to handle what comes with having a cell phone at that age. So she's had it since May. And she's been doing a damn good job of keeping up with it. And that's just a way of teaching her, like, this is responsibility. I'm not going to reward you with the responsibility of having a cell phone at 12, knowing that you're not equipped with the mindset and the responsibility level to have a phone at 12. If you show me from 10 to 12 that you can hold that shit down, when you 12, there's no question.
I like it.
What is yours?
And I'm using that same method now.
Yeah.
So my daughter, she got a, I guess we call that shit the Obama phone. It's free as long as she use it.
Yeah.
But if you don't use your phone, keep up with your phone, you will never get my phone.
Yeah.
So anytime we're traveling or we're out or whatever it is, and you asking me for my phone, where's your phone?
Yep.
If it's not in that coach bag, I got nothing for you.
Yep.
Is your phone dead? Why is your phone dead?
Yep.
You have a charger, you know where it goes. Same situation. Why are you not being responsible for this thing, but you're asking me for mine? So what I'm trying to still instill in them, which is something that I have kicking a fucking dead horse, like, bro, if you're not gonna be responsible for yours, don't demand me to keep up with the responsibility of mine.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I've taken from my childhood that I didn't even realize I was walking around with, but like it's been like a huge thing for me. So it's like if we're in the car, like I said, car, traveling, whatever it is, any random time of day, you want my stuff, where's yours at?
Yeah.
If you got your phone with you, it's dead, but you got it on you, I understand that. Things happen. It happens to me sometimes. Like I get that.
Yeah.
But you don't know where your phone at? Oh, I think I left it at Grammy's house? Nah, them not acceptable answers.
And that's where this kind of cell phone responsibility thing came for me because they've had iPads since they was 2. So they
they got tablets and fast.
Their grandmother buys them an iPad every 2 years. So every 2 years when a new one comes out, they get it. So my kid's probably, she's 10, she got probably about 5. If you go through the house, you probably can find 5 of Chloe iPads. And when they break or when they, I'll just call Yaya. And Yaya's like, okay, Jerome, can you just take them to the Apple Store? I set them up an appointment like that. I'll take care of it. So that's what they're used to. And that's fine. Like, if that's grandma. That's how grandma
That
goes.
ain't me.
I ain't gonna get in the way of grandma.
Right.
Nah.
This right here, you want me to pay for the service on the phone? And you want me to?
Your daddy operates a little different.
Handle that shit.
Yeah.
Because this ain't Yaya.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't Yaya.
No yaya.
This ain't no Yaya.
That's dada.
That.
Fellas, another good episode.
Yes, sir.
Amazing.
Fire.
Appreciate Mike being
Hey,
back.
man,
in
welcome
the
back,
building.
man.
Welcome back.
Welcome back,
One
brother.
more
Welcome
time.
back, brother.
Yeah.
We missed you, man. We
It's
missed you.
good to be with family. It's great to be seen. I'm happy to be back.
Yes,
What
sir.
we talking about?
What
We're
we
here to
talking
entertain,
about?
educate, and uplift, man. That's what we're here
All
to
day.
do. Like, comment, subscribe.
Episode 17.
Episode 17.
17.
Let's get it.
Cheers to future, man. Anniversary episode coming up soon. Y'all be
Yes,
ready
sir.
for it.
Ooh.
Oh, last thing. I want to give a special thank you to everybody that tagged us for the Rory and Mall
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We did not get
Appreciate
it.
that love.
But I do appreciate the love. It was so quickly, and y'all did it. We do thank y'all.
We appreciate
y'all.
y'all.
Do look up with us a little bit, and I do appreciate that, y'all. So
Hey.
cheers to you all.
What we talking about?
What we
What we talking about?
Yeah.